Okay, obviously Indy was a massive moment for you, and I think the biggest thing from it is it kind of springboarded your season a little bit. Ever since Indy, you've been right there. Seattle, again, was kind of heading in a very good direction. So I guess right now, confidence is at an all-time high.
Yeah, I try not to get too into the, confidence high and then all of a sudden low and whatnot. I'm trying to keep it pretty level, but Seattle was tough for me. Like, I did not feel comfortable on the track all day. So I actually rode the best and I had the most fun in the main event. But yeah, overall, I've been kind of consistent and nothing crazy, you know what I mean? Not like super, super good or super, super bad. I obviously didn't do the whole season last year, so it's kind of nice just to go from race to race, work on the bike a little bit, and kind of let the racing come to me, focus on the gate drops, and yeah, just build, I guess.
Obviously, coming into the season, you knew that there was work to do, you were behind the 8 ball. I'm guessing in your head you had a roadmap of when you'd like to make certain steps. Have you actually been ahead of that? Like, has the progress been fast-tracked compared to what you maybe imagined?
I mean, fast-track the progress, it's a tough one because it can never go quick enough, right? Especially in the situation that we were in. So we're still making changes to the bike every now and then. Once, like Indy, for example, once I found my setting, I left it for a bit, but I still had some issues going from track to track, but at the same time, I just wanted to ride and get my motos in because that was a little bit neglected as I was testing so much. But I also felt like I had to because we weren't, for us to be able to win and get up front, like these little changes really matter, to get comfort. And anyway, it's tough setting up a motorcycle. There's a lot of moving parts, and especially in a short amount of time. So we made some changes to the bike right now. It'll be interesting to see how it is from here, but mainly doing smaller changes now to where it doesn't completely mess up the bike or go one way or another, So I guess it can always be better, but I'm just still going from race to race and be healthy, but just fight for podiums and being more up front.
Is there like one thing that you're still waiting to fix with the bike? A part you're waiting on? Something you want to test that you'd like to get done before we finish Supercross?
I mean, there always is, like the whoops, for example, you really have your stuff dialed there because when they build them really big and steep and they get rough, right, that's where the worst of the bike really comes out because I can deal with certain stuff on other parts of the track, but once it comes to the whoops, there's just no room for error, right? Yeah. So really just trying to get some stability there still. And
last thing, obviously Glendale's hard pack, you won in soft conditions in Indy. Is it safe to presume that softer tracks favour you and the bike more than these sort of things?
I don't think one way or another. The hard pack, it's just a little bit of a different style of racing, you know what I mean? But over my career, I actually grew up riding concrete tracks with no water on, right? In Germany, we don't really water our tracks. So I guess we haven't really had too many full hard pack tracks, actually. I think most of them have been pretty soft. Yep. So it'll be interesting to see and see how the bike handles in this.
We'll start deep. Every week we've talked about how you're better than ever, and we agree on that, but why? Like, why in your eyes are you better than ever? Like, what do you put it down to?
Experience. No, just comfortable. Training program's good, learned throughout the years. Bike's good, learned throughout the years on that as well. Just happy. Good family life, everything's full circle, come around. They just actually mentioned 10 years ago I won my first 450 Supercross race here in this city, not in this stadium, but nearby. And so yeah, it's some good vibes and still at the top level 10 years later. Pretty darn cool. I'm stoked on it. And yeah, I don't know why I'm where I'm at, but I've just worked hard, never gave up. I got a solid team behind me and just enjoying it.
Yeah, you say the difference is like experience and happiness, but not much has changed from last year. So I guess that's where it's hard to put it down. Or did you already see the signs of this last year and it was trending in a good direction?
Yeah, we struggled a little bit with setup, and this year we found the setup quick. And then I just, honestly, in the off season, I was able to do my own training program. I was back in Florida doing my riding, not changing the bike at all, and was able to put in my laps. So that's why it's showing. My fitness is good. I'm always really strong at the end of the race. On this off week, we worked on some starts. We found a few little things, so I think starts are going to be on point this weekend. And obviously for the Triple Crown, that's huge. Yeah, the bike, we haven't changed the bike in weeks. The bike's really good. We keep trying to throw stuff at it just because they keep coming up with making stuff and parts, and we try it, and I just keep on my same thing. So maybe eventually we'll just have something come up that's insanely good and it'll take it to the next level, but I feel like I'm at a really good level right now, and I'm not really asking for anything else with the bike.
I've got to ask, you found something for the starts. Was it on the bike? Was it with your technique? What was it more specifically?
Combination. Yeah, a little combination. I'm sure someone with a hawk eye will be able to see a change this weekend, and but all in all, it's good. Ollie and the crew on the team working hard, trying to find little things, and then me, I'm just analyzing videos and just kind of going old school and trying things, and didn't really change anything crazy, so it's good.
Last thing, and this is probably just as difficult to answer. All we do is talk about how great you are at the moment, but what's one thing you're not happy with? Something that you know you want to improve? Obviously, I guess it was starts.
Yeah, well, we were just talking about it. Honestly, my Achilles heel has been starts, but I've been a really good starter throughout my career. Obviously, like I've won 250 championships. I've got lots of starts, like through the nationals and all that stuff, and so it's been a little bit weird this year, just trying to figure it out. We struggled last year, and then we figured it out last year a little. But yeah, the starts were difficult, and I've been getting better and better, and we found a little things, like I said, this week, and I think that's been the thing that's holding us back, so we get that and win some races.
Okay, obviously we're 11 rounds in, you've got a red plate, you're tied. Just give us like an honest assessment of your year so far, one thing that you think is great and another thing you're not so stoked on.
It's obviously been a great year. Overall it really has been, and so I think to be in this position is a great position to be in. I think before the season, it's always the goal to be in the hunt late, but to actually be there is a whole other story. So definitely stoked to be in the position, tied with the red plate, and headed to the end of the series. But if I were to nitpick, obviously a little more wins would be nice. 2 is great, but we'd definitely like to add to that, and that's the goal this weekend.
I don't think there's a particular reason you haven't had more wins though. Like Oakland, you were really close. You've been capable of winning a lot. Do you think there's a reason for only having 2 wins?
Honestly, no. Like I said, I feel like I'm riding the best I have and going the fastest I ever have. I just think it shows how competitive and gnarly and deep the class is. And like I said, I've been in situations where I've been close seconds, or it feels like I've had a lot of seconds, which is obviously great points. But 3 or 4 of those could have easily, if I maybe just would have executed a little more, it could have been wins. So obviously, don't want to look at it too much and too in depth, because I still feel like I'm in a good spot. And like I said, on any given night, I feel like I can go out and win. So that's the position you want to be in, and like I said, it's so gnarly right now. It depends on how the start is and how you're feeling and the comfort. So a lot of things go into the wins. You're not winning off of maybe luck this year or just a good ride. You got to really execute, ride great.
I know you mentioned after Seattle that it wasn't the best night, but it wasn't the worst. Was that maybe the most frustrated you've been in a while? Because laps 10, 11, 12, you were going to Eli. Like, it was really going in that direction, and then it just didn't for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's I don't even remember Seattle at this point, but it was, looking back, a good race, like second place, and I think just me being competitive, you want to win, and like you said, I feel like I had a shot at, once again, potentially winning the race. So, but we'll take it. I think after the day we had, the second place was really nice, and now we're setting up a story for all the fans, tied in points. So. Yeah, we'll see where it ends up for the rest of the year.
And last thing, obviously Houston was your worst race of the year. That was a fast-paced track. This is a fast track. Is there anything to that at all, or is that just not even a concern?
I don't know. I obviously haven't even looked at the track, but typically this definitely hard or fast-paced, but this one's way more hard-packed. Houston was super tacky, ruddy, and then we got a Triple Crown here, so they're always exciting, always interested. I did win a Triple Crown earlier in the year, so I do feel like I have some good momentum there. So this one's always fast, like you said, but it gets hard-packed, hard as a rock. So I feel like we've been pretty good in the hard-pack this year, so I think we'll put up a good fight.